हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। सो आज के इस वीडियो में बेसिकली मैं आपको सेल्फ ज्वाइन एक्सप्लेन करने वाली हूँ। सो बेसिकली सेल्फ ज्वाइन इज़ अ ज्वाइन दैट वी यूज़ टू ज्वाइन अ सिंगल टेबल विथ इटसेल्फ। ओके, सो हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि जब किसी एक सिंगल टेबल से हमें कोई मल्टीपल इन्फॉर्मेशन गैदर करना होता है, दैट वी वांट टू फेच द मल्टीपल इन्फॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम द सेम सिंगल टेबल, देन इन दैट case we use self join. Okay, so basically the self join concept, whenever you are sitting in an interview and if you have written your skill set as MySQL or SQL, so interviewer gonna ask this question about the self join, like what is the self join and how you can implement it, or maybe he or she can ask based on the output that he wants to know from yourself. Like basically he or she wants to know like you understand the self join concept or not. Okay, so okay, इस वीडियो में बेसिकली मैं आपको ये एक्सप्लेन करने वाली हूँ. सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम आई एम मूविंग फर्दर टू explain it. Okay, so let's suppose first table we have as imp1 and this imp id, imp name, manager id, these things we have as a data also, and imp2 is also a same data containing, but we can see that these both are identical. I mean these both are identical, and we can say that imp1 is copy of imp2 or imp2 is copy of imp1. Okay, so in this way we can use the self join here to fetch the required output. Let's suppose we want to know like the whatever the employee id and employee name is here, I want to know the manager id or manager name. Okay, so how we'll get the manager name? We can see that only imp id, imp name and manager id is there. We are not able to see any manager name is there, right? So for that what we'll do, what we will write a self join table query so that we can get that info too. Okay, so for that what we are going to do is, like, let's suppose first this imp1 table, this manager id, we are going to join with imp2 table, imp id. So what will happen with this manager id, whatever the result will get here, that will display in your output. Okay, and based on that manager id, this imp name we can see as a manager name when we'll give the alias name as manager name. So I have written the query here so that you can explain it very well. So what we are going to do, select imp1.imp id. So imp1 is this table, imp id is this. So, okay, so it's gonna select imp1.imp id, imp1.imp name, imp1.manager id. So these three columns it's gonna select in output. Okay, and the next is imp2.imp name, imp2, this one it's imp name, and this imp name is gonna to show as manager name. So it's showing as imp name as manager name. So you can say this manager name is showing here. It's nothing just because it's imp2 imp name we have written as a manager name. Okay, so I think आपको ये समझ में आया होगा कि यहाँ पे जो imp2 का जो टेबल है, इसको हमने जो यहाँ पे imp नेम है उसको हमने यहाँ पे मैनेजर नेम एज अ आउटपुट शो किया है alias नेम दे करके. तो आई होप आपको ये क्लियर हुआ होगा. ओके, फ्रॉम imp self join demo. सो जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया कि एक्चुअल जो टेबल का नेम है वो क्या है, imp self join demo. जैसा कि मैंने ये आपको बस कन्वीनियंट के लिए मैंने रखा था कि जब मैं इसको एक्सप्लेन करूँ तो मुझे टेबल ढूंढना ना पड़े, एंड मैं बेसिकली इस टेबल को कैच करके अपना जो भी आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन है वो मैं कर दूँ. ओके, सो मैंने यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है, imp self join demo एज imp1. यहाँ पे हमने alias नेम डाल दिया एक imp1. इनर जॉइन परफॉर्म किया है हमने सेम टेबल पे एज imp2 ऑन what we have, on which column we are performing this, imp1.manager id. So imp1.manager id is this, is equal to imp2.imp id. So this thing we have written as a query. So don't worry, I will explain it in MySQL Workbench also so that you can understand like how it's working. Just I'm giving you this self demo so that you can understand the concept first and then we'll go to hands on. Okay, so now we'll run the query, will get this output. So how this output is coming, so let's suppose first this 50 manager id and this 50 imp id is matching, right? So based on that we'll get the output. So let's suppose, let me copy this here first and then we'll explain you. So we'll see this manager id is matching with imp id. Okay, so based on this result what we are getting as an output, first imp1.imp id. So imp1.imp id is 10 here, right? imp1.imp id is 10, imp1.imp name is abc, imp1.manager id is 50, and imp2, see here this imp2 dot imp name as manager name. So imp2 manager name is ghi, here the imp name is ghi, so here manager name is showing as ghi. So I think this thing is clear. So the second match is 50. Okay, so for this also the same result will come, but what will be the difference is like the imp id will be 20, imp name will be xyz, manager id will be 50, and manager name will be ghi, because this imp name here is ghi, so it will show as manager name here. Okay, let's suppose we are moving to 20, so this 20 value is matching with this. Okay, so first let me copy it. So this 20, okay, this 20 both are matching. So for this, what when we go to the select a statement, imp1 dot imp id, so for this 20, what we can see, like this 20, this 30, imp id 30 is matching, so this one will be there. So here you can see like this manager id and imp id is 20. So for that, what we can get is like this imp id is 30, this imp name is pqr, manager id is 20, and this manager name will be xyz, because this xyz is coming from the second table, this, and this imp name we have taken as alias name, manager name, so this xyz is here. So I think this thing is clear, and if not, then you can comment, like I can explain it in another way, but trust me, these things whatever I am explaining it, these all are purely based on hands-on. If you are not doing hands-on, sometimes I also forget the concept, sometimes I also knowing the concept, but I am not knowing that how I will explain that you can understand it, right? So I will suggest you do hands-on, do practice as much as possible, because this practice will enhance your knowledge and you can perform well in interview. Okay, so okay, then I think I have covered it very well. Let's suppose this 10 also I'm going to cover. So this imp manager id 10 and this 10 is matching here, so I'm going to copy paste here it already. Okay, so for this, what is going to happen is like this abc will be the manager name and rest all will be same, you can see, right? So I think this thing I have explained very well, but still there is any doubt, you can comment me, I will try to answer your queries as much as possible. Okay, and then we can jump on the query part. Okay, so I have already written the query, whatever the query I have written in this XML, that same query I have written here. So first I am going to explain you the table, like see this table containing this imp id, imp name and manager id, and based on that what we need, we need like manager name also. Okay, so let's suppose we want manager name. So for that, what we have done, like first we have selected the imp id, imp name and imp1 dot manager id. So these three things we are selecting from one table, and this imp2 table we are selecting as a manager name, imp name as manager name, and what we are doing, we are joining these two table through inner join, based on which condition, imp1 dot manager id is equal to imp2 dot imp id. So when we'll execute this query, we'll get this result, that result which I have already discussed, and how this output is coming. So I think this is it, and I think I'm able to explain it very well, but still I can say like there may be any doubt you can have, so you can comment me, I can definitely answer your queries, and I will also try to improve my teaching skills, because many things that I'm explaining, maybe I'm explaining to you in a very layman term, but maybe you will not get it. So you can just comment me, I will try to break it in a small part so that you can understand it well. Okay, and if not, then we'll figure out in another way. Okay, so stay tuned with me. Thank you so much.